Hello everyone. So I just wanted to give some general tips about what you potentially could be doing while you're quarantined at home with nothing to do, with children who need you daily, minute, by the second, by the hour. Some of the productive things that you can be doing as far as your rights are concerned and just getting further in life in general. I know there's been a lot of talk about being so productive, but I do think that having a plan and executing that plan is what's essential in productivity. So with this video, I just wanted to kind of highlight some of the legal things you could be doing during this quarantine to just set yourself up for a situation where you'll be in a different financial position once this is all over. And specifically, 5 things are, you can, number 1, get your estate planning in order. We provide services for estate planning, for wills, for trusts, different issues about medical advanced healthcare directive. If you need any of those things, and I strongly advise that you get those things even if you don't have assets, you can see my previous videos about that. But I do think that that's something very important that a lot of us take lightly. And basically what's going on with this virus is that it does not discriminate about age. It does not discriminate about health status. It does not discriminate on race. And I think that we need to take that very seriously and make sure we have our affairs in order, and that if something does happen, our family will be in a predicament where they know our wishes and they know what we want as far as estate planning. The second tip is to, if you've been thinking about that business, you've been thinking about starting this blog, you've been thinking about doing different things like that, I strongly advise to do it. A lot of times you can fall into depression if you don't have something that serves as an outlet. So in addition to your regular 9 to 5, maybe you sew, and maybe that's something that you're very passionate about, but you just never had the time. Now is the time that you can potentially make that hobby a lucrative business. And I would advise that you consult with an attorney to make sure that your rights are protected in starting a business. Now, the District of Columbia and the state of Maryland have very specific rules about establishing what's called limited liability companies. And that is the type of company that I would advise someone who's going to be a small business and kind of just starting out and just want to make sure that their rights are protected legally in doing business. So we can further talk about that. And my office offers services where we will serve as a resident agent for you on your behalf if you did want to have a LLC filed here in Maryland or in the District of Columbia. So we can definitely discuss those options as well. Another thing that I wanted to bring out is, if you do have a business and you've been kind of putting on the back burner getting this trademark done, my office does offer trademark services. We've had several hundreds of clients who have come to us about trademarks, who have gotten those questions answered, and who have also used our services in facilitating the trademark application and successfully obtaining a trademark with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. So that's a service that we offer. Just wanted to put that out there. And for those of you who have a slogan, potentially have something visually, aesthetically visual that you want to protect, have a name that you want to protect, something that's not common, something that can be differentiated, we can go over what the requirements are for a trademark filing and whether or not what you want to protect can be protected. So that's another service that we offer. And in addition to those things, I think the last thing that I want to talk about is a custody agreement and potentially a parenting plan that you can kind of get a jump start on if you're, number 1, looking to file for a divorce, or you just want to file for custody. Maryland has new law that says that certain parenting tools have to be used for those matters where the parties disagree about certain aspects of custody. And we can get a jump start. Even if you don't want to file the case right now, at least we can start figuring out, okay, he agrees on legal custody, I agree on physical custody, or we don't agree on physical custody, but we agree on legal custody. We think we should both be legal custodians. Those are starting points for conversation about custody. And I am a true believer that you are the best proponent for your child, not the judge. The judge is kind of the ultimate decision maker. They don't like to be involved in situations where you two can be adults and come to an agreement. And I think having an attorney, of course, will make sure that your wishes are protected and protected the right way, not just saying, oh, I want joint custody or I want sole custody. What does that look like? Who gets Christmas? Who gets Thanksgiving? Who gets birthdays? Is it odd and even? Will you have the king say? Will you have the sweet 16? Those are things that I think when I'm talking to people at initial consultations, they haven't even thought about because they're so caught up in not wanting to co-parent with the other party that they lose sight of what custody really is. And I think getting down to the nitty-gritty of those issues and potentially having a parenting plan or some type of agreement drafted to facilitate visitation and access with yourself and the other party with your minor child, I think that that's important. And I think the courts really respect that and applaud that, and that's what they want you to do. And that's why the process of getting to a judge is so stringent and it's so involved, and you have to file and you have to wait and you have to do these things because guess what? They don't want to be involved. They want to see that you guys can come together. And what my office does is offer you, some avenues to pursue. In the event that you can come together, then we can try that. But if you end up not being able to be on one accord, then we will go the trial route. Of course we will. But I just wanted to put it out there that this time can also be spent using, being productive and trying to get an agreement with the other party through the facilitation of an attorney or yourself. And also kind of going back to what I was stating earlier about the divorce process, Maryland again has a mutual consent divorce law that says that if you and the other party agree, you can get a divorce as long as there is a separation agreement that speaks to all issues regarding marital property and that there's a parenting plan regarding any minor children who are involved in that case. So again, spending this time trying to go through a separation agreement, getting it drafted, getting all the kinks out of it so that the day that the courts open, which is anticipated in Maryland to be June 5th and May 15th in the District of Columbia, but who's counting? When they do open, you can immediately file your mutual consent divorce and you can immediately say, we have our agreement, we're ready. The court will set you up for an uncontested 15-minute divorce hearing and it'll be really quick and easy. However, the time that you spent during this quarantine time, you would have already worked out the kinks instead of waiting until the courts reopen, then coming to me, and then we have to serve them with a separation agreement, get it drafted, do all of those things, then file for divorce. That's my point with that. I think that we need to use this time and try to have these conversations that we've been avoiding with the other party for a long time. And that's just my spill about some 5 things that you could be doing during this quarantine period. And if you're in need of legal services in the state of Maryland or the District of Columbia with any of the things that I just mentioned or anything else, please give my office a call, 240-493-9116 and www.amurphylegal.com. Thank you.